Imagine a land where darkness regularly swallows the light, where hunger knocks on every door like an uninvited guest. Chronic power outages, scarce food, the lives of millions are a relentless struggle for survival. But within this same nation, a parallel reality exists, a world completely separate, glittering with gold, luxurious beyond belief. That is the world of Kim Jong-un. People whisper of hundreds of limited edition supercars parked in secret garages. They speak of an armored train that moves like a fortress, of colossal super yachts gliding across the sea, of magnificent opulent palaces whose construction costs could sustain an entire generation, and of course of a personal fortune estimated in the billions of dollars. How can the leader of one of the world's poorest and most isolated countries maintain such an absurdly lavish lifestyle, while his people buckle under the weight of sanctions and deprivation? Today, we won't just skim the surface. Together, we will peel back the layers of mystery, diving deep into the heart of this shocking contrast. From modern-day harems to symbols of power wrought in steel and gold, from shadowy financial networks to terrifying mind control. Brace yourselves, because what you are about to discover will surpass ordinary imagination. This is the story of absolute power, limitless luxury, and the terrible price the North Korean people must pay. Number 1. The Gilded Harem, Secrets Behind the Pleasure Squad. Within Kim Jong-un's innermost circle of power exists a special group of women, known by the euphemistic yet deeply suggestive name, Gipyeomjo, the Pleasure Squad. Like a dark fairy tale, the recruitment process for this group is astonishingly strict and secretive, a legacy reportedly inherited from his father, Kim Jong-il. Each year, high-ranking officials scour the country, searching for around 20 to 25 young women, often teenagers, who meet exacting standards. Beauty is a necessary condition, but not sufficient. The paramount factor is an absolutely clean background. They must come from core loyal families with no connections whatsoever, however distant, to defectors, relatives in South Korea, or any Western country. Every detail of their family history is meticulously scrutinized. The selection process resembles a beauty pageant combined with a high-level security check. Candidates undergo multiple rounds of physical and medical evaluations, even psychological tests. Rumors suggest doctors meticulously examine every minute detail, from skin and voice to even virginity. More chillingly, accounts from defectors claim that Kim Jong-un himself, or previously his father, sometimes personally participated in the final selection round, hand-picking the faces that would serve him. Those chosen enter a completely different world. They are taken to special compounds, live in seclusion, and receive intensive training. The training program is divided into smaller groups with distinct skills. One group learns advanced therapeutic and relaxation massage techniques. Another owns skills in singing, dancing, and playing traditional and modern musical instruments to perform at lavish parties. And the most sought-after group, also the most controversial, is trained to serve Kim Jong-un and the highest-ranking officials directly, a role where the line between privilege, entertainment, and sexual servitude becomes incredibly blurred. These women enjoy a material life far more comfortable than ordinary citizens. Beautiful clothes, fine food, expensive cosmetics. But the price is their freedom and dignity. They live under near absolute control, their every activity monitored. Upon reaching a certain age, usually their mid-20s or when they are no longer in favor, they are retired, often arranged to marry low-ranking officials or bodyguards as a reward for those men's loyalty. Their lives, from selection to disposal, are entirely dictated by the regime. The Pleasure Squad is not merely an expression of personal indulgence, but also a tool of power, a testament to the leader's absolute control over even the most private aspects of human life. Number 2. The glittering world despite sanctions. Supercar garage and billion-dollar yachts. Picture this. A nation subjected to the world's heaviest economic sanctions by the United Nations and numerous global powers, banning the import of almost all luxury goods. Yet, its supreme leader appears publicly in the latest supercars, worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. This isn't an isolated display but an astonishing collection, an open mockery of international sanctions efforts. In April 2024, at a missile test, a military and political event, Kim Jong-un arrived at the site with an escort convoy that stunned enthusiasts, a brand new armored Cadillac Escalade 2024. recently launched, with a starting price over $100,000 and a luxurious Bentley Bentayga, costing no less than $200,000. Earlier in early 2024, a state documentary accidentally, or intentionally, revealed footage of Kim Jong-un emerging from a Mercedes-Benz Maybach GLS 600, a mobile mansion priced from $175,000 to over $227,000 depending on version and options. The collection doesn't stop there. Sightings include the Rolls-Royce Phantom, the ultimate symbol of British luxury, numerous armored Lexus models for secure transport, and notably, an Oris Senate L700, a personal gift from Russian President Vladimir Putin during his visit to North Korea, similar to the car Putin himself uses. It's estimated that Kim Jong-un's private garage holds no fewer than 100 luxury and super luxury vehicles. The biggest question is, how do these cars, these strictly embargoed luxury items, bypass international control barriers to reach Kim Jong-un? Experts believe North Korea has built an incredibly sophisticated network of front companies and intermediaries in multiple countries, especially China and Russia, using complex shipping methods, fraudulent customs declarations, and possibly even air or sea transport disguised as other cargo. It's a massive car laundering system operating in the shadows, demonstrating the regime's astonishing ability to circumvent laws and its utter defiance. And the luxury doesn't end on land. At sea, Kim Jong-un possesses a fleet of personal super yachts. The most prominent is a yacht up to 262 feet long, likened to a floating palace complete with amenities, a water slide leading directly into the sea, a near-Olympic-sized swimming pool, a cinema, a gym, and numerous luxurious cabins for family and VIP guests. Satellite images frequently capture this massive yacht along with several smaller ones, including a Princess 95-meter worth about $7 million, now discontinued, anchored near his private resort in Wonsan, or cruising the East Sea. Owning and using these extravagant vessels is not just a personal hobby but also a statement of power and the ability to obtain whatever he desires despite global condemnation and prohibition. Number 3. The true cost of gold, lives and pain. Every supercar rolling through Pyongyang's streets, every glass of fine wine poured at secret banquets, every square meter of gold leaf in the palaces, carries an invisible but tear-soaked price. It's the price paid in the deprivation, pain, and sometimes the very lives of millions of North Korean citizens. The contrast isn't just about wealth disparity, it cuts deep into every aspect of life and death. Consider a simple but stinging comparison. The cost of buying a Rolls-Royce Phantom, around $500,000, or a Maybach GLS 600, could purchase thousands of tons of rice, enough to save tens of thousands from starvation for months. The annual maintenance cost for that colossal collection of supercars and yachts could build and operate numerous basic hospitals, providing essential medicine to those dying from treatable diseases. While Kim Jong-un and the elite savor expensive imported delicacies like Swiss cheese, Russian caviar, and French cognac in lavish dining rooms, ordinary people struggle with meager food rations, mainly corn and cabbage, frequently facing chronic famine, especially in rural areas. Malnourished children, elderly people lacking medicine, hospitals short of basic equipment. This is the harsh daily reality. National resources, instead of being prioritized for social welfare, healthcare, education, or sustainable agriculture, are siphoned off to fund the extravagant lifestyle of the leader and the top brass, as well as costly military programs. The modern Masikryong ski resort, built at a cost of hundreds of millions of dollars, primarily serves the elite and international tourists, though very few, while local residents often can't even afford decent boots to withstand the harsh winter. This injustice is not just material, it is also a spiritual humiliation. The public flaunting of wealth, whether through state media or personal appearances, serves as an assertion that the lives of the people are worthless compared to the leader's luxury. Every dollar spent on luxury goods is a dollar stolen from the most basic and urgent needs of the populace. The price of this extreme luxury is the extreme misery of millions. It is a heartbreaking truth, a wound that never stops bleeding within North Korean society. Number 4. The Immortal Fortresses, Kumsusan Palace, and the Tango Train. Absolute power manifests not only through material wealth, but also through enduring symbols, structures built for eternity, defying time and even death. Two of the most potent symbols of the Kim dynasty's power are the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun and the private armored train. Standing majestically in the heart of Pyongyang, the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun was originally Kim Il-sung's official residence. After his death, it was converted into a gigantic mausoleum, later becoming the final resting place for Kim Jong-il as well. Spanning over 1.05 million square feet, nearly 100,000 square meters, it is the largest mausoleum in the world dedicated to a communist leader. Inside, the luxury reaches unimaginable levels. Floors are laid with polished marble, colossal pillars soar high, and ceilings and walls are adorned with gold leaf, rare woods, and precious stones. The embalmed bodies of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il lie preserved in glass sarcophagi, placed in vast, solemn halls. Kim Il-sung's body is draped with the flag of the Workers' Party of Korea. The atmosphere inside is cold, solemn, almost religious. The construction and annual maintenance costs for this structure are estimated in the hundreds of millions, even $1 billion, a staggering sum for an impoverished nation. Kumsusan is not just a place to venerate the leaders, it is an assertion of the immortality and sacred legitimacy of the Kim dynasty. If Kumsusan is the fixed fortress, then Kim Jong-un's private armored train, nicknamed Tango, is the mobile fortress. This is no ordinary train. Each carriage is heavily armored, windows are made of multi-layered bulletproof glass and the floors are reinforced against mines. It's designed to withstand attacks from small arms fire and explosives. The train usually consists of 10 to 20 carriages, including a luxurious private bedroom car for Kim Jong-un, a meeting car equipped with state-of-the-art encrypted satellite communication technology, a dining car with a private chef serving gourmet dishes and fine wines, an entertainment car, and carriages transporting accompanying armored Mercedes cars. The train travels at a relatively slow speed, typically only around 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, or about 30 to 37 miles per hour. The reason isn't obsolescence, but security and comfort. The slow speed allows security forces to meticulously inspect the tracks ahead, while also enabling Kim Jong-un to work, hold meetings, or rest in maximum comfort while on the move. Each journey by train, whether domestic or to neighboring countries like China, Vietnam, or Russia, is an elaborately prepared event, mobilizing thousands of security personnel. The Tango train is likened to Air Force One on rails, serving not only as the ultimate secure mode of transport, but also as a symbol of supreme power, tight control, and perhaps a touch of paranoia about the North Korean leader's security. It reveals a leader who always prioritizes his own safety and status above all else, even in choosing his mode of travel. Number 5. Myth building. The God complex and personality cult. Kim Jong-un's extreme luxury is not merely about material enjoyment. It is also a strategic tool, meticulously calculated to build and reinforce an almost divine image, a personality cult pushed to the extreme. The Kim regime rules not just through political and military power, but also through a self-created ideology that transforms its leaders into living gods in the eyes of the populace. One of the most powerful symbols employed is the image of Kim Jong-un riding a white horse atop snow-covered Mount Baekdu. Mount Baekdu is considered the most sacred mountain in Korean culture, the mythical birthplace of the nation, and intrinsically linked to the legend of the noble Baekdu bloodline of the Kim family, where Kim Il-sung supposedly led the anti-Japanese resistance. Kim Jong-un's reenactment of this image, often in stately attire, is more than recreation. It's a calculated propaganda act, directly connecting him to his grandfather's revolutionary legacy, asserting his legitimacy and transcendent power. The Orlov Trotter white horses specially imported from Russia, more on this later, further enhance the mythical aura of these images. The construction of gigantic, sometimes absurdly grandiose architectural projects is also part of this strategy. The 105-story pyramid-shaped Ryugyong Hotel is a prime example. Begun in 1987 with the ambition of becoming the world's tallest hotel, the project stalled for years due to lack of funds, earning it the nickname Hotel of Doom. Although its exterior was later clad in glass and a dazzling LED system, turning it into a giant propaganda screen at night, the interior remains largely empty and has never truly functioned as intended. However, for the regime, its imposing presence on the Pyongyang skyline, even as an unfinished success, remains a symbol of the ambition, power, and indomitable will of North Korea under the Kim dynasty's leadership. Similarly, the Masikryong ski resort, though modern and expensive, located in a country where most people don't know how to ski and cannot afford to visit, carries a political message. North Korea can achieve world-class accomplishments on its own without outside help, a testament to the Juche, self-reliance ideology. All these actions, from riding white horses and building massive structures to tightly controlling media images, aim to ingrain in the public consciousness that Kim Jong-un is no ordinary leader, but a military genius, a great ideologue, a benevolent father, and almost a god with boundless power. Extreme luxury is an indispensable component in maintaining this illusion of divine authority. Number 6. The secret engine. Where do the billions come from? This is perhaps the most perplexing and intriguing question. Amidst tightening sanctions, a struggling economy, and widespread poverty, where does Kim Jong-un get the billions of dollars to fund his imperial lifestyle, the massive military apparatus, and the costly nuclear weapons program? The answer lies deep within a complex underworld, a shadow economy operating parallel to the official one. Experts and international intelligence agencies believe North Korea has developed a range of large-scale, illicit and semi-illicit activities to generate hard currency cyber attacks and cryptocurrency theft, considered one of the primary sources of income today. The notorious Lazarus Group hackers, believed to be state-sponsored, have executed numerous sophisticated attacks on banks, cryptocurrency exchanges, and financial institutions worldwide, stealing billions of dollars. Cryptocurrency is particularly attractive due to its anonymity and difficulty to trace. Arms trafficking. Despite UN bans, North Korea is still accused of secretly trafficking weapons, from small arms and missiles to related technologies, to nations and armed groups in Africa, the Middle East, and other unstable regions. Complex broker networks and shipping methods help conceal these transactions. Resource exports, circumventing sanctions. Coal and minerals are traditional exports. Though sanctioned, North Korea allegedly continues to illicitly export large quantities of coal and other resources through ship-to-ship transfers at sea, often at night or in poorly monitored international waters, usually with the help of foreign vessels and companies. Exported labor. Tens of thousands of North Korean citizens are sent to work abroad, mainly in Russia, China, and a few other countries. They work under harsh conditions for low wages, and a large portion of their income, potentially up to 70 to 90%, is confiscated by the government as voluntary contributions or various taxes and fees, bringing in significant foreign currency. Other illicit activities. In the past, North Korea was accused of involvement in drug production and trafficking, especially methamphetamine, counterfeit currency, high-quality superdollars, and smuggling prohibited goods like ivory and rhino horns. While the current extent of these activities is hard to determine, they demonstrate a willingness to do whatever it takes to obtain money. These shadowy income streams are tightly managed by special agencies under the party and military, forming a massive flow of cash directly into the pockets of the elite and funding the regime's priorities, including Kim Jong-un's lavish lifestyle. It is a parasitic economic system, drawing blood from both within and beyond its borders to maintain its existence and power. Title, Number 7, Invisible Chains, Fear, Mind Control, and Constant Absurdity. Why do millions of North Koreans accept or at least silently endure such cruel wealth disparity? The answer is complex. It lies in the combination of a massive propaganda machine, a comprehensive system of social surveillance and control, and a fear deeply ingrained in the collective psyche. From a young age, North Korean citizens are indoctrinated with the Juche ideology and the cult of the Kim family. All media, from textbooks, newspapers, radio, television to music and art, speak with a single voice praising the leader, romanticizing reality, and condemning external enemies, mainly the US and South Korea. Information from the outside world is blocked. The internet is available only to a tiny elite and is heavily censored. The population is isolated within a state-created information bubble. Every citizen is closely monitored, not just by the vast security forces but also by neighbors and colleagues through the Inminban, or neighborhood watch system. Any sign of discontent, however small, can be reported. The Songbun system, which classifies citizens based on their family's perceived loyalty over generations, dictates every aspect of life, from residency, job opportunities, and education chances to food rations. Punishment for political crimes, including criticizing the leadership or attempting to defect, is extremely brutal. The political prison camps, known as Kwanliso, where hundreds of thousands are held in inhumane conditions, subjected to forced labor, torture, and summary executions, serve as a terrifying deterrent. Public executions, though reportedly less frequent than before, are still used to instill fear. The fear not only for oneself but also for one's entire family. Three-generation punishment, Yonjwaja, prevents citizens from attempting any act of defiance. In this context, the leader's luxury, while potentially causing underlying resentment, is often explained by the propaganda machine as a deserved reward for the leader's immense contributions, or as a symbol of the nation's strength and coming prosperity. Sometimes absurdity is pushed to the extreme through bizarre requirements like regulated hairstyles or costly yet meaningless projects. It's almost as if these measures are designed to test the limits of obedience and reinforce absolute power beyond reason. The people are trapped in an invisible prison where fear and mind control are the strongest bars. Number 8. Air Koryo, the mysterious airline and private fleet. In the skies above North Korea, one airline holds a near-monopoly, Air Koryo. To the outside world, it's known for its aging Soviet-era fleet, its status as the world's only one-star rated airline by Skytrax, and its strict in-flight regulations. But, for Kim Jong-un, Air Koryo is more than just the national carrier. It's a crucial part of the power apparatus, and the provider of his personal air fleet. Established in 1950 in partnership with the Soviet Union, Air Koryo has faced many challenges, especially after the collapse of the USSR and the tightening of international sanctions. Its main fleet still comprises Soviet and Russian-made aircraft like Tupolev, Tu-134, Tu-154, Tu-204, Antonov, An-24 and 148, and Ilyushin, Il-62. Operating these aging planes under conditions lacking spare parts and international standard maintenance raises safety concerns. Surprisingly, however, the airline still meets some basic EU safety requirements allowing it into European airspace, albeit only with certain newer aircraft types. Air Koryo serves a limited number of international routes, primarily to Beijing, Shenyang in China, and Vladivostok in Russia. Flights are often sparsely populated, carrying mainly officials, specially licensed business people, and a few tourists on package tours. But the more critical and secretive part of Air Koryo is its role in serving the supreme leader. Kim Jong-un possesses a specially modified private aircraft, often referred to by the unofficial designation Chame-1. This is an Ilyushin Il-62M, a four-engine long-range jet from the Soviet era. Externally, it might not look state-of-the-art, but the interior is believed to have been completely upgraded with luxurious fittings. A private office, bedroom, meeting room with advanced encrypted communication equipment, and other lavish amenities. This aircraft functions as a flying Kremlin, a mobile command center, allowing Kim Jong-un to travel safely and conduct affairs from the air during his rare international trips by plane. He generally prefers the armored train. Each flight of Chame-1, though infrequent, sends a clear message of power, access to technology, albeit older, and the leader's absolutely guaranteed safety. Like the armored train, this private jet is part of the system of power symbols, completely separating Kim Jong-un from the difficulties and limitations faced by his people and even his own national airline. Number 9. The Orlov White Horses, symbols of power and mythical legacy. In the arsenal of symbols used by the Kim regime to consolidate power, the image of majestic white horses holds a particularly significant place. This is not merely a personal hobby or a simple display of wealth. Kim Jong-un's frequent appearances with white horses, especially the Orlov trotter breed imported from Russia, are a meticulously calculated propaganda move, linking him to revolutionary heritage and a sacred bloodline. The Russian Orlov trotter breed is famed for its endurance, elegant appearance, and striking pure white coat. The importation of dozens of these aristocratic horses, some reports suggest up to 50 in recent years, at considerable expense, indicates a serious investment in image building. The significance of white horses in North Korea transcends material value. In Korean history and folklore, white horses are often associated with heroes and figures destined for special missions. More importantly, the nation's founder, Kim Il-sung, built a legend around riding a white horse while leading guerrilla forces against Japanese occupiers from a base on Mount Baekdu. This image became an immortal symbol of the revolution, courage, and the spirit of self-reliance. When Kim Jong-un appears on the back of a white horse, galloping through the majestic snow-covered landscapes of Mount Baekdu, it is a deliberate reenactment of his grandfather's legendary image. It sends a powerful message. He is the worthy successor, carrying the noble Paektu bloodline, continuing the great revolutionary cause. These photos and films are widely disseminated through state media, engraving in the public mind the image of a strong, dignified leader, close to nature and the nation's roots, yet also powerful and mysterious. The use of imported Orlov horses adds another layer of symbolism. They are not only beautiful but also demonstrate North Korea's ability to access the best, the most elite from the outside world, albeit only for the leader, while simultaneously reinforcing special ties with Russia. The white horses gleaming against the snow are more than just a picturesque scene. They are potent propaganda tools, carefully chosen props in the grand theater of power and personality cult. They help weave a narrative of an invincible dynasty, a leader chosen by destiny, while the harsh reality of the people's lives paints a starkly contrasting picture. Number 10. The submarine fleet, nuclear ambitions, and underwater military strategy. While the outside world often focuses on the extravagant displays on land supercars, palaces, yachts, deep beneath the ocean surface, another, perhaps more alarming aspect of Kim Jong-un's strategy is quietly developing. North Korea's growing submarine fleet. These are not just military assets, they are symbols of secrecy, deterrence capability, and the regime's long-term nuclear ambitions. The Korean People's Navy possesses one of the world's largest submarine fleets by number, although much of it consists of aging models. The core of this force includes around 20 Romeo-class submarines and approximately 40 Sang-o Shark and Yono Salmon-class mini-submarines. The Romeo-class vessels, dating back to the Soviet era of the 1950s, though technologically outdated and noisy, are still capable of carrying torpedoes and mines, operating in shallow coastal waters. The mini-subs, despite limited range, are highly dangerous for covert missions like infiltration, special operations, and mine-laying, as implicated in the 2010 attack on the South Korean corvette Cheonan, which Pyongyang denies. However, Kim Jong-un's ambitions don't stop there. North Korea has been striving to develop larger, more modern submarines capable of carrying submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The Sinpo class, or Gorai, whale submarine represents a significant step, capable of launching Puguksong missiles from underwater. Most recently, in September 2023, North Korea launched a new submarine, christened Hero Kim Kun-ok, number 841. It was declared the country's first tactical nuclear attack submarine, reportedly a modified version of the Romeo class, retrofitted to carry multiple SLBMs and cruise missiles potentially armed with tactical nuclear warheads. Although Western experts harbor significant doubts about its actual operational capabilities and the extent of its nuclear nature. Does it have a nuclear reactor or merely carry nuclear weapons? Its unveiling sent a clear political and military message. Kim Jong-un is determined to build a nuclear triad, enhancing survivability and retaliatory strike capability in case of conflict. The inherent stealth of submarines operating beneath the waves provides Kim Jong-un with a crucial strategic advantage. They complicate tracking and surveillance efforts by adversaries, introducing elements of surprise and unpredictability. The immense investment of resources into the submarine program, particularly nuclear-capable ones, demonstrates the regime's absolute prioritization of military strength and deterrence, regardless of the cost in terms of public poverty and deprivation. The submarine fleet lurking beneath the waves is the dangerous submerged part of the Kim Jong-un power iceberg. A world of extreme contrasts. On one side, unimaginable luxury, symbols of power challenging the world, fueled by mysterious cash flows and a personality cult built on fear. On the other, the lives of millions submerged in deprivation, tightly controlled and isolated from the rest of humanity. Kim Jong-un has created his own reality, an empire where absurdity becomes normal, where absolute power allows him to live like an emperor in the 21st century, defying all norms and international pressure. What other secrets lie hidden behind North Korea's Iron Curtain? Where does the money truly come from, and how vast is it? How long can this system of control and fear be sustained? And most importantly, what future awaits the North Korean people, those paying the ultimate price for the existence of this paradox? Kim Jong-un's world is a labyrinth of power, secrecy, and luxury. What do you think about these shocking truths? What impressed or angered you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you want us to continue unveiling the secrets of other powerful nations or figures around the world, don't hesitate to suggest them. Please hit the like button if you found this video interesting, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next explorations. Your support is our greatest motivation to continue this work. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the paradoxical world of Kim Jong-un. See you in the next video.